Hey, Scott and I are here. It's back again on Thursday. I wanted to show you something real quick, Scott. Oh, yeah, you're about to show us all your art. Uh,
Well, I finished this.
yeah, go ahead, talk about
I
that.
don't know if did you ever see the finished piece, Ellis?
Yeah, I did. In fact, I downloaded the fairly high res version of it on your Instagram. I
Oh
went
yeah.
and got that account
Yep.
hacked.
So
Pretty
I
nice. No,
have.
that's nice. You're shifting it around so we can see the scale. We see your hands on it. It's pretty big.
Oh yeah, it's 11 by 17. I mean, I'm sorry, it's 14 by 17.
Yeah.
Uh, I have. Did I tell you that somebody's offered to buy it?
Oh, really? For
Yeah, I
how
think this
much?
happened. Well, I told him I'd have to have $500.
Yeah, well, you've got that much time in it. Yeah.
Well, do I? I work on it about an hour a night for about 3 weeks. So I mean, you
That's
know.
enough. That's enough time.
Well, that's my thing. And so he is interested, but and so I sent him a picture of the final version,
Hmm.
and I haven't heard back from him. So I told him, I said, I'm not really big on, I don't know about financing my or a price of my work. I said, but I'd have to have, I'd like to get $500
Well,
for it.
yeah, that's probably the reality
Well,
that has hit him is like, yeah, I need $500 for this or that.
no, this guy has money, so,
Okay.
and he's on the Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition, and he
Okay.
does buy art. He's not an artist, but he buys art.
Hmm.
And but the thing is here's the deal: if he doesn't buy it, I'm gonna have it framed, get a nice frame for it,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna hang it up behind my desk at work. I'm on a
Sure.
lot of Zoom calls now, and the way my desk is, I can hang it on the wall and people will see it in the Zoom calls. I've got almost like a set built for Zoom calls at my work. I've got
Hmm.
an L-shaped desk, and it's like this, and so my computer's here. Well, here's like the L part, and I've won a bunch of trophies at work, and they're kind of lined up here, so you
Hmm.
can see me and the trophies off to the side, and this picture will be right behind those trophies. And we get enough tours in our office that I think if it was on the wall, it would really attract a lot of attention. So if he doesn't want it, I'm not going to lower the price. The price is the price.
Hmm.
And he said he was interested in it when I told him the price. He's like, well, he wants to see it. But I said, well, so I emailed him. I was like, I'm done with it. Here's a picture of it. If you're interested in it, I'm free. I'm free I'm free weekends and Friday afternoons. So I don't know if he's going to reach out to me tomorrow and go, hey, do you want to meet somewhere? I'll give him a week, and if he doesn't get back with me, then I found a place I can order a frame online for a reasonable price.
Hmm.
I'll get me a nice frame with a couple double mats, and I figure I'll put 3 inches all around it, so it'll be 20. Let's see, what would that be? 23 by 20, which would be a big piece on the wall.
You know what? You know what? That is something I haven't thought about, but I bet you it exists. Isn't there? Aren't there places out there that send you like kits that have the mat cut exactly to specs and
Oh, you
send
can
you
order a
the
frame
frame?
online. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
order a frame online. Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, I could. The only thing is, I don't really like the frames. I mean, so I
Hmm.
may price it out at a place, some local places.
Hmm.
But like a frame like I'd want for that, it's
Hmm.
like $84, which isn't bad for a big frame like that. I bet if I went to like a frame place, it'd probably 3 times that.
Well, will the frame be kind of minimalist, just about an inch on each side, or what will?
Yeah, it'll be kind of a flat
Yeah,
black metal thing,
sure.
which is okay.
Yeah,
But
no, that's my favorite kind of frame. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got it all sorted out yet, but I mean, if I can sell it, if he wants, before we went live, I showed you the bag I spent $300 on yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not opposed to selling it.
Yeah, you
And then
making money.
the guy that was going to do the I had a guy that wanted me to draw his car. I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, I'm free. Do you want me to start? Let me. I'm getting ready to start on it." And he said, "Well, don't get it done until after Christmas." And I go, or he said, "Don't get it done too close to Christmas."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, are you telling me you want it now, or you want it?" And I realized what he's telling me is he doesn't want me spending extra money before Christmas.
Right.
So I'm almost like, well, that's probably a gone commission,
Yeah.
But
people, that's the first thing someone that's trying to tell you how much they like your artwork is going to do for you is they're going to say, draw me something, I'll pay you. And then it's like, oh, wait a moment. I thought that would cost me 10.
I thought it'd be free.
I thought it'd be 10 cents.
We went to my in-laws' house this week. My father-in-law was supposed to have a heart stent put in, but it didn't happen because he didn't need it.
Oh, good.
And so, yeah. That was good.
I'll use it then if it's just laying around. I'm kidding.
Yeah. My mother-in-law was showing me this piece of art, this painting. And she was going, "Oh, the neighbor down the street had this canvas, and they gave it to us because they couldn't fit it in their car. They were moving, and they didn't want it, so they gave her this blank canvas." And so she said, "Oh, we have this friend that's a good painter, so I asked him to paint a picture of Yellowstone, and I gave him some pictures." And it was this massive canvas.
Oh boy!
And then she said, and we went to an antique store and we found a frame for it that was $14. And I was thinking, did you pay this guy? I didn't want to ask because I was getting in trouble. But I'm thinking, she said, yeah, it took him 6 months, but that's okay. I didn't mind waiting on it. And I'm thinking, yeah, I bet you. And I was like, oh God, I'm glad they didn't ask me to do it. Yeah. I'm not. It's like I'm not a painter. Yeah. So were you going to show me something?
Yeah, I just wanted to show you this. You know how
stand up.
You're always sending me like notes about little office supplies you bought, and then it's like I can't help myself. I go ahead and buy the same office supply.
Right.
And so you like these Pentel pencils that I bought some just like yours, the 9mm. Well, then I said, I wonder if I was going to get some more of that size. And then I ran across these and I bought them without really studying them or anything. And then when they and really right before this show, I looked at it because I was looking for the good one. I wanted to say, I want to compare these. And they're the same. This was 8 with as many packs of lead for $14. And of course, those 2 were about $7.
Right. So, what is it? It's a knockoff?
Yeah, I guess it's just a knockoff. It's called Jedo, Jedo. And the only thing and I'm really proud of myself. I've taken it apart here and I'm picking up the barrel here and I'm saying, well, you know what? This is just slightly heavier. But then I was smart enough to take it apart and look in it. And this has only got the one lead that's being used in it. And this has 3 extras. And that's the only reason it's heftier is it's just using more leads. But I mean, I'm looking at it side by side. It's the same. It's the same item.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it called again? I'll look at it. I may buy some.
I'll send you the link.
Send me the link.
Yeah.
And I assume they had other sizes.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'll send you the link, and I'll put the link below, as they say, in case anybody else wants some pencils. But I gotta say, quit, Ellis. Make a New Year's resolution. That time's coming up pretty quick. don't buy any office supplies for all of 2023.
Don't listen to Scott.
Yeah, just do yourself a favor. You don't. This one pencil here is probably a lifetime supply of pencil as far as my age goes. It's like.
It's funny. I'm a huge John Byrne fan. I think I say that every episode. But John Byrne was saying that he drew all of his comics with this one pencil that he had. It was a lead holder.
Yeah.
And his father was a draftsman, had used it. And he was saying that when he was a kid, his dad did like architectural renderings to make spare money. Mm-hmm. And he said when he turned pro, his dad gave him that lead holder, and he used it up until 2003. And it was the only pencil that John Byrne had. Think about that. How much work has he done? And he never was like, I need another pencil. He used that one lead holder until finally one of the springs inside gave out, and it lasted from like 1956 to 2003. And I know this because he talked about it on his forum, and he had that pencil mounted in a frame with a little plate that had the year date on it. And he was like, this pencil basically lasted me my whole comics career.
Wow.
And he's talked about going to conventions and taking that pencil. I mean, you think of like all the conventions he would have went to, and it's like,
crazy.
And then you think about like, I have 15 lead holders within my reach, and it's golly, I'm overthinking it.
I'm the same way. Yeah, this, the deal is, I think what a person like me does when they buy something like that is they think that there is something going to be stimulated, and you're just going to go through all the materials you're now looking at, all the entire inventory you're looking at. You'll just be turning, putting all that graphite down, and you aren't,
Well, the pencil I'm using tonight is this Eagle. Yeah. I don't know if this is the one you gave me, but you gave me you'd bought a box of these at a garage sale.
Right.
And these are old, and I searched for these, and I bought a box on eBay or on Amazon, a dozen of these for like $6. It's an Eagle H, and I love this pencil. Yeah. On the right paper, this pencil is unbeatable.
Yeah.
But part of that is like, I go back to what I used to kid this guy at work because he was like, if I had this or I had that, and I always tell him it's a poor craftsman that blames his tools. So I mean, I don't know. So last week, did I talk about my comic book and what's going on in my comic book?
You may probably have mentioned some disappointments that were brewing. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to talk. I don't know if I talked about it on the show, but I'm going to talk about it on the show tonight. So, So because I haven't talked to you, so everybody's up to speed. My comic book, Heaven's Rejects, put out through SourcePoint Press. I got a note. Well, in fact, I was late talking to you last week because of this, I believe. Mm-hmm, well, I had to work late, so that you
had to talk to him before you checked in with me. Yeah,
right. So my writer told me that they are not going to do a graphic novel of Heaven's Rejects or
a trade. Yeah,
a trade, and I was very disappointed because. Because that's what I was hoping. That's what sits on the shelves, and I was hoping to make all my money off the trade, not necessarily the singles. And so the writer told me, well, you should talk to, I won't say his name, but the editor in chief. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I guess I can't. So he even went to text him, and that guy said, oh yeah. He said, "Oh yeah, you can talk to you can talk to him." So I sent him an email, probably after we talked, and I said, "Hey, I've been talking to the writer Greg, and and I don't know what's going on. Great. There's some concern. Can we talk? I'm free on Fridays. I'd like to talk to you on the phone. So the next day I get an email, and he's copied several editors, and he goes, "Hey, I know about this." He goes, I'm copying these editors because they're also they're editors here, and they kind of know what's going on, and they need to be in the loop on this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then he proceeded to tell me that because number 4, because number 3 issue number 3 had underperformed, they were not going to do it was slightly less than 1,000 copies were ordered.
Mm-hmm.
So they were not going to do it. He's like, I can't do a trade for anything that doesn't sell at least 1,000 copies. Well, I had heard that was true that they would potentially cancel a series if it didn't do 1,000, if they didn't order 1,000 of an issue. Now, and he told me, he goes, but I'm going to do I'm committed to doing issue 4. And so I asked him, and I don't have my email in front of me, but I asked him multiple questions, such as, if you don't do it, is it like, hey, we did 4 issues and it's dead? Are there other opportunities? What happens to this? And they were talking about us doing a Kickstarter and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, if I do a Kickstarter, what is SourcePoint Press's role in this? Because if I'm going to do a Kickstarter and it just goes to them and they don't do anything in it, why would I do that?
No, they ought to just give everything to you. I mean, just let you have it.
Yeah, at that point.
Kickstarter.
Well, and the email said, we can help you with, and they said, if you do that, then and it makes its money, then we can get copies out of that fund. We'll order extra copies through that or something like that. And so I was like, okay, but you have a deal with Simon & Schuster. How does that affect this? Is this, because to me, it's like, well, if you got a deal with Simon & Schuster, they should at least have the chance to look at it, And so I sent all these emails, and then I finished it up with, I said, I probably shouldn't say this. I said, but, I got to be honest, I've kind of been disappointed in my dealings with SourcePoint Press. I said, I know that we don't have an editor on our book, so there's no one in the office to champion us. But it would have been, but no one's contacted me, and it would be really nice. Oh, one of my things was, when do I have the opportunity to buy single issues? I've never been talked about that or approached that. And my contract clearly states I can buy single issues at cost. Mm-hmm. And I was never offered that. And so so I finished up with saying, it would have been nice if just somebody from SourcePoint Press would have reached out to me and said, hey, congratulations, or hey, your book is doing good, or whatever. I said, but no one's reached out to me. And I said, I know that we don't have an editor, so there's no one to champion our book in the office. And I know Greg is up there all the time, and maybe that's enough, but still, no one has reached out to me. And I said, last week I was under the impression, which it was Greg that gave me this impression, but I said, I was under the impression the book was doing really well. And then this week I'm being told it's dead, and I'm not sure what to think. Mm-hmm. And so you know what? I hadn't heard a peep from him. Mm. It's like,
so you sent all those emails and they haven't replied. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so Friday, I'd responded to all those people. That was last Friday, and it's like, and then today they somebody else emailed me and said, issue 4 is missing page 15.
Great.
I thought about just telling him, well, why don't you stick it in your,
Yeah. Yeah, but, that does sound like that's gone. Isn't that all business dealings that involve just
comics.
About it? Comics, yeah. I mean, it just seems like it is.
No, I think about it. And I told Greg, I talked to Greg about it. And I told Greg, you know what? I'm not surprised. This is
Yeah.
every comic deal I've ever had has gone, in the
South in
crapper
some
like
way.
this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it's just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's the reason, it's like I could stay busy all the time, I imagine, if I if I felt like being glued to the drawing board and producing something but I just can't make myself do stuff for no money. And that's what it always is going to amount to. You'd be working basically. You'd feel like you lost money for the time you lost doing something. Unless you were just totally enthused about it, like if somebody called me up and says, "Hey, I really like your work. I want you to be telling this story I've got," and he was some sort of mega uh, presence that I knew automatically just by being affiliated with him. I'd have a lot of eyes on it and all that. Then maybe I might do it. But and that really doesn't really even extend to my friend like Doug. I wouldn't really want to work too hard for Doug because there's been he's had a couple people work really hard for him, and they did the usual thing. It's like, hey, man, making comics is hard work. And so they're not Doug. They aren't the machine that cranks it out and makes it worthwhile to do it. If you're a mortal being and only crank out so much work a month, you're that Kickstarter method is it's not something that's going to make you happy, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I don't know what's going to happen with, Heaven's Rejects. I haven't heard anything. I'm about at the point where it's like, I don't even care.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Heaven's Rejects banner on my Facebook page. I took it off. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like, I mean, it annoys me that they don't even bother, even if he just got back with me and said, because some of the questions I had, for example, when do I have the opportunity to buy copies? That's a contractual thing. That's in my contract. They are by contract. They have to sell me. Now, it doesn't say what the price is. They might say, well, we've already gone to press, so it's a POD price, so it'll cost you $8 a piece or something. They could screw me over, but
well, you don't know that yet, do you? That they're actually going to charge you? No, I don't think.
I think they're going to give me. They're supposed to give me comps.
Yeah,
and I'm supposed to have the opportunity to buy issues, and I haven't heard anything from it. And it just.
Oh, that's the very least they could give you for all that work you did.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if I got screwed on this whole deal. But I'm not going to take – I mean, they will answer – they will at the very least send me a response email because if I don't – I've kind of bided my time. But if I don't hear anything, I'm going to email them again. I'm going to copy the owner of the thing, and I'm going to be like, why haven't I got a response to my questions? Some of these are contractual questions, and you owe me an answer, But Greg has said, I don't want to do that all the time to Greg, because Greg sent an email to the editor-in-chief and the owner expressing his dissatisfaction. So I don't know. I don't know what – I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to figure out the answers to some of my questions. None of them were that difficult,
What did so it goes to issue 4, and they feel like sales fell off too much.
Right.
Did they do anything promotional at all? Well, hell,
Yeah. I don't know what
you got to promote something if you want to move anything,
No, they do multiple, well, don't get me started. They Well, see, and this is Greg's been dissatisfied for a while now, and he's told me this because, well, there's a couple things working against us on this. One is there's a group of guys that work in the office that are also creators, and lo and behold, their books are being pushed, you know, and I offered to go to New York Comic Con on my own dime, and they weren't interested. Basically, told me don't bother. They've. I don't know. I'm over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
it sounds like you gotta have. At this point, there's almost like the old classic period of grieving you've got to do. It's like you may say you're over it, but it's going to take, you're going to have to put some time into really being over it,
Oh yeah, because I alternate between this, just like what else did I expect? Because this is kind of how all my and then it's just like this, just general being pissed off about it.
Well, yeah,
because they didn't. Well, and here's what I think happened. We got our deal when the publisher was up and coming,
pre-COVID.
They agreed to publish the book. The writer was a friend of the owners. And I think what's happened is, in the meantime, they put in these editors and stuff, and these people don't have any attachment to Greg or his books.
Just like Hollywood, new people come in, yeah.
Yep, I think that's what happened to us. And Greg, I don't know if I told you this, but Greg, because of his divorce decree, cannot go to comic conventions. It's the craziest thing. And so he can't promote. And so I don't know I don't know. The whole thing, I was hoping that we could go to some cons in the fall or in the winter. There's a big con in New Orleans. I was like, we should go to that con. And he's like, he can't because his divorce decree, and he was going to fight it, and his lawyer got the thing kicked back. It was supposed to be like last week, and then it got kicked to January, and now he's telling me it'll be at least March. Well, March is, I don't know. I'm pissed about the whole thing.
Well,
what's crazy is they're still selling it at cons.
I tell you what, successful people. You're a successful person. They have the power of visualization. That's a big part of what you're in pain about, is you had it visualized. You had to visualize it to make it happen, and you visualized where it would lead, and you had a strong visualization.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And now that's not happening. All these visualizations are being thwarted by whatever.
Some asshole.
Yeah, exactly. By the
some slapnuts there in the office.
By people again. Yeah. People are always your biggest disappointment. But
and you're right, because I signed like an 8-page contract that detailed like every kind of situation you could imagine and how the money would break down.
Yeah.
Like media rights, overseas rights, all this kind of stuff. And so my thing is, if they're not doing anything with this, then they need to tell me, we're not doing anything with this. It's dead. You can have it back. Mm-hmm. For them to not do anything, they need to release it back to us.
Sure, they do. Yeah, they do.
And
you need to bounce that idea to them, because I think you're still holding out hope they are going to do something with it. It sounds like to me they've written it off. I think you need to go ahead and float that idea. Say, hey, give this back to us, and see if they kick about it. They shouldn't. I don't think they should. At a minimum, they ought to do that for you. It's like, let us have this. Just like
Yeah, if they're not going to publish it, then, and I mean, we even sign like, they get the first. If we do a sequel, they get the first right of refusal and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, that's the deal. Yeah, and it is kind of that's what that's the bad thing. You right now are in the realm of that's just automatic. It's just a legalese that has to be that will bar you from using it yourself without them attached.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing: if they give me an opportunity to buy it, and it's not crazy priced, I don't have a problem if I can get it for. I don't know what it would cost them to print.
No,
Well,
no.
at this point, yeah, at this point, it might cost a fortune because I don't know if they printed any extras. I don't know.
It hasn't cost them anything yet. If you look at the fact that you weren't compensated as you went along, so
Yeah.
they should just give that to you.
Well, I want to buy. I want to buy some copies because I think I could sell them. If I had 100 copies of each issue,
mm-hmm.
I could make a little bit of money.
You want to have a box of them sitting around for local cons and taking them on the road with you if you feel like it. Whatever. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's the whole thing just.
Yeah.
It just pisses me off.
Well, yeah, it is
But I've got my own.
But it was a cool. It was a cool experience. Okay, now you've got the writer, maybe going to write Spider, but I think you should write it yourself. I think you're going along just fine, and have got a feel for the character. Why don't you just write it yourself? And
I am going to. I won't go over the plot, but I sent Ellis a plot a few days ago that I think was pretty solid.
Yeah. No. It's don't. I have come to the realization that I would have 50 comic books out there in the market if I just early on realized, what, we're talking about doing something that, as a general rule, 90% of it is just complete idiotic crap. There's just no reason. There is no reason to be self-conscious about what you might produce, because
good point.
It's going to be equal to everything that has gone before.
Yeah, on the average, for sure.
Yeah.
On the average, I mean, you're right about that. So here's my idea, Ellis.
Okay.
I'm going to write this comic. I'm going to draw this comic, and I'm going to make it a one-shot. It's going to be 32 pages, a little bit longer than a normal comic. I'd love to do it square bound. That might be a little thin for a square bound comic, but I want it to be like
square bound, though. I like square bound.
Yeah. I want it to be like a pulp. It's going to be, I think I'm going to use the Spider, but I'm kicking around the idea of just coming up with my own pulp character.
Well, I think you're ahead of the game to go ahead and go public domain, because that has got a built-in audience of guys that, if nothing else, they want to buy it because they're huge fans and they just want to dish you on your on your version. I don't know.
So
it's like you want the rageaholic. You want the rageaholic holding your comic book up and saying how bad it is. This is not pulp.
This is not the Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the name of our podcast night, is Master of Men. That's his
Spider
thing.
Master of Men, man.
Yeah.
Man. My idea is to do it, and so when I was talking to the writer, he wanted to do So this was his conception, kind of. Infrared goggles, kind of a mask with a spider on, with a spider web, and then a thing. And I was trying to figure out how to make his. And I kind of went through some permutations here. There's kind of one there. My idea was just do it like a black suit and then show a row of buttons, but don't really show, what it looks like. Kaluta draws the shadow with kind of this leather jacket that he wears. And I thought about it, Ellis, and if you look at the pulp covers, I was thinking about that this weekend or this week while we were traveling. And, if you look at like these pulp covers, all these heroes wore suits. They didn't wear Spider-Man suits. And I thought, why am I, of course, my first thought is, what kind of hero would wear a suit? That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
then I thought, it's a comic book.
That's
Who
right.
cares?
That's right.
So
and think about the old Republic serials. All those guys.
All those guys are wearing suits and ties.
Knuckle dusting fights did those guys have, and never once thought about, we ought to switch to dungarees.
I gotta take my jacket off. I gotta strip down to my wife beater shirt here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna draw him in a suit. I don't like the idea of the mask because you can't see his emotions. I want him to be kind of crazy looking.
That opera mask he wears on the covers. That's the way to go.
I don't know if you can see what I'm pointing at.
Oh,
here.
yeah, I can. Yeah,
that's what I'm going with.
Making basically that's where Will Eisner got his spirit inspiration. Is like
that's what his costume is going to be a cape with a lining that has a web on it and a domino mask, and I'm going to have him wear
domino. That's right.
I'm going to have him wear shoulder holsters. What do you call them? They hang in your armpits. Those are shoulder holsters.
Sure, yeah.
Dual shoulder holsters. And I'll probably show them, when I draw, when you can see like his arms and
make him what he was, a reaction to the success of the Shadow. Yep.
I'm going to embrace it, and I'm not going to try and Spider-Man him up. I mean, I even drew something like this. I don't know if you can see this.
Let's see.
Where I was like,
yeah. You made him superhero-ish.
Yep. Nope, not doing that. I'm doing this is
that's the way to go right there.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. And if people don't like it, then I don't care.
Exactly.
No one has liked anything I've done so far, so why should I care? This is I'm just gonna do what I think is cool. And I'm not gonna worry about, oh my gosh, he's wearing a suit and a hat and he's running around and he's, I don't care.
Well, the deal is I sent around that link to that preview of the Rocketeer artist Dave Stevens. Got some sort of documentaries coming out on him. And, I sent it out with the cruel headline, Brink Stevens no longer has an eating disorder, because she's packed on a couple of pounds, but she still looks great. She's an attractive person, but she's not the little fantasy girl that was in Slave Girls in Outer Space. But the only way she gets there, I'm sure, is by starving herself to death. When you're 18, maybe you can be skin and bones and still eat French fries, but not later. The documentary looks pretty good. They're going to talk about how great Dave Stevens was, and as Barry wrote his little note, it's like you could have all of Dave Stevens' artwork and about one book. You know, the guy was not prolific, and yet here he is. And he wasn't all about comic books, obviously. Otherwise, if that was his drive, he was about being an artist that was into the female form. I have a feeling is his main drive. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's how the documentary seems to be turning it. That he was just into babes, and that's reflected in his art. You know.
Yeah.
And Betty Page.
I don't know if I saw that email.
Oh, you didn't see that email? Okay, I'll have to send you that when I send you the link.
I don't know if When did you send it?
Probably yesterday, I think. I'll send you the link again. It was basically just to an internet movie database thing that if you clicked on it, you could have access to the trailer. I'm not sure if it played automatically or not. I guess I was assuming you guys would figure it out. Maybe that's what's wrong. I just didn't give you enough information. I
apparently Barry figured it.
Yeah, I sent a snarky little thing about Brink Stevens and a link.
I don't think I saw that thing even.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's all right. I'll send it to you again or something.
Yeah.
I was seeing something where it's like, you know, Frazetta is so great, and I see so much of it because I'm on Instagram all the time looking at Frazetta girls. So they have like 3 new posts a day for old Frazetta art. And the other day they had one. It's like, it was during his period where he was just becoming so good at rendering that I really don't like it as much as when he was working as with real rough sketchiness. But he did become, you know, during his Death Dealer days and stuff like that, he was really putting the rendering. He was showing you that he could render with the best of them and stand aside. But at the same time, it amazed me because he had this awful tangent of of this leg that was coming out at such a shared space moment with this Death Dealer doing his thing. So it looked like his limb was coming out of Death Dealer. And it's like, look at that. That guy's, we know he's a master on every level. And yet he did that drawing. He rendered the crap out of it. And he didn't notice that awful tangent. I mean, the leg that seems to be shared with a Death Dealer is just gorgeously anatomically thought out and got all kinds of energy to it and all that. But it's in just an awful spot. So anyway, I don't know. It shows you get blind spots to stuff. It happens to me. It happens to me all the time when I look at. It's always nice if you look at an old piece of artwork and say, "Hey, you know what? That was pretty good." But every now and then, of course, you get the reverse. It's like, "Holy heck!"
Yeah, what in the world happened here?
Let me show you some of the stuff I've got from the library recently. I've got "Save the Cat Writes a Novel." I need to read that.
Oh yeah.
It looks pretty good. I've seen her on YouTube. That's the reason I got it from the library. And then I have this one that Barry told me about. Said,
"Ooh,
get that." It's got Peckinpah and McQueen kneeling down together talking about the getaway. So that'll be good. So Quentin Tarantino, cinema speculation. You know,
did that come from our library?
Yes. Yeah, they've got it.
Oh my gosh.
So what I may be irritated by is he may get a little jazzy with his language. Not foul. I'm talking about like he's just like trying to be poetic and stuff. But
oh yeah.
And this one finally came through. It kind of surprised me when it came through. I was fourth in the queue, and then all of a sudden I just had it. And it's like, hey, you've thrown me off. Now I've got too many of them.
Yeah, that happens to me.
Yeah. It's like the Doc Savage, the one not written by the guy that you usually associated with all the new Doc Savages.
Will Murray.
Yeah, Will Murray. This is by Brian Sitz. No. James Patterson. The Perfect Assassin. I wonder what the it must be it's read by several people. Huh. Interesting. Unabridged. 7 discs, so it's the proper size for Doc Savage, short. And then this, look at that. The Shadow, Unearthly Specters. It's 18 episodes.
Was it radio show?
Yeah, radio shows.
Cool.
So I probably will be putting that, since it is part of the, hey, I've got too many of this and that, I'll probably put this on while I'm painting or something as background noise. So I got, and then the other thing I've got out that really makes it overkill is out in the car. I've got I Am Legend audiobook.
Oh yeah,
Blackstone Audio, and I'm enjoying listening to that again. Richard Matheson is a great little writer. He's always fun to listen to.
He's pretty good.
Yep. So that's it. The library. If you aren't a member of the library, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I always never know what to think about people that aren't members of the library.
I guess you could think of it as a hassle to drop in on stuff, but you can't beat the price. Yeah, that's my deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Other than that, I've got a painting that's been sitting around waiting for me to finish it for 3 weeks now. And every morning I start the day thinking, finish that damn painting. It'll take you about 10 minutes. I just don't do it. There's a certain level of momentum you have to generate to do anything, and you have to really have a habit formed. If I want to be a painter, I'm going to have a habit that touches off that thing every time, every day, that makes me a painter.
Yeah, you got to show up.
Yep.
Got to show up, man.
And the other thing I'm doing is I'm just 2 hours away from having completed my second complete viewing of the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it more than that. I've just seen it in the theater.
That's how I am. I've just seen mine in the theater. Well, that's not true. When Dave got the extended editions, we watched those. And I swore I'd never watch the extended editions again.
Oh, yeah. It's probably too long, because I'm sure I'm going to remember how it's like, hey, this should have ended 3 times ago. And I've only got 2 hours left, so who knows? Maybe it may be within the first hour. It might be, oh no, the ending has started.
Yeah, I've been watching a little long.
Go ahead.
I've been watching a TV show recently on HBO called Barry. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I don't think so. What is that?
It's about a guy that's an assassin, and he's trying to assassinate this guy, and he accidentally follows the guy into an acting class, and he at the start of it he kind of has doubts about being an assassin. He wants out, and
he finds a new passion in improv, huh?
Right? Yeah, exactly. He wants to become an actor, and of course his the people that he's killing people for don't want it. They want him to keep there's a whole thing of no, you can't stop this. This is not your lot in life to stop this.
Well, I tell you what, that writer owes Shane Black dinner or something for the big idea, because that happens to Robert Downey Jr. in what's it called? Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, I don't know. Was that
he is
same
he's
kind
a
of thing?
he's a criminal, and he's shot, and he's just basically escaping. The only alley access he finds goes to this one room where he drops in on an audition.
Oh,
and he gives this impassioned thing that lands him the role, and involves him with a whole bunch of stuff that gets complicated from there.
Yeah, they seem very similar.
Yeah. But that Shane Black, oh my God. Sometimes stuff seems too clever. It's like, tone it down. Come on, nobody's that clever all the time. Give me some real dialogue. But Shane Black is so damn clever that it's like, oh, this stuff is great. That and that other one with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. God, those are great little movies. I could watch them anytime, I think, just because they're so cute and clever. And you can tell the actors dig it. It's fun to have good dialogue compared to idiotic dialogue. Speaking of idiotic, yeah. Can you imagine being an actor and knowing that, oh my God, I don't know if I can do a good read on this. This is so stupid.
Yeah. No, that would be terrible.
Yep.
Well, I would console myself with a paycheck, maybe.
Oh yeah,
good pay. But still, you would be like, what am I in for here?
Yeah. Oh, so everybody, I hope typically, all these actors that get involved in paychecks and staying busy, probably most of the time think to themselves, I hope nobody sees this.
I hope this movie tanks.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how I should look at my comic, Ellis.
Well, I tell you what, anybody that discovers me through Miss Tree's The Scythe and Miss Tree's Thrilling Adventures, it was written by quite the team. I mean, those were well thought of comics. But sees my stuff in The Scythe, it's like, well, I won't be getting any work from those people that saw that. Yeah.
Yep, maybe that's how I need to think of my comic.
Yeah.
So here's kind of my cover idea.
Just put all your effort into this, the spider. Yeah, I like that. It looks like you might see what Elon Musk's machine looks like. I don't know. What does that machine look like? They've already they've been running under LA and doing, like a bunch of little teenagers making big races underneath. Someone will be top side and someone will be under. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to look. I'll have to look and see. Well, dude, I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we've been at 53 minutes, which, considering we started 15 minutes late, makes it well past our usual 8 o'clock.
That was my fault. I don't know why I had trouble with my email.
Well, yeah, we'll check that. I'll send you some links. I'll send you one email that's got everything I think you missed, and see if you get it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, Scott, we've like you say, I was about to say it if you didn't say it. Time to go. Okay, we're ending.
Time to go.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.